Keeper Animal Sanctuary. Welcome to this video for Thursday, September 7th, 2023. This week I thought I would go over with you what it means to have enclosures freighted to you if you're not familiar with what that is. I know I've mentioned it in a few videos. For example, these black box cages enclosures, which I am putting the final touches on before they're going to go where animals are going to be put into them, were freighted here. And I've had other orders of enclosures and enclosure stands and other equipment sent here by freight. That's a little bit different than when you have enclosures or other things sent to you flat packed. So when something is sent to you flat packed, this is what it looks like when it is sent to you via flat packed. It means that it's as flat as they can make it for shipping, and it's usually put in a box and wrapped with these plastic binding things, sometimes staples, sometimes a lot of tape. But you have to open this box and take all of the enclosure pieces and parts out, and you have to assemble them at home. Usually, if you have something freighted, the company is able to send the enclosures already put together, and that was the case with this and other orders of my black box enclosures. I have had some sent to me via flat pack, and I put them together here, but it is always much easier when I am able to have them freighted and they arrive already put together, and all I have to do is arrange the insides the way I want and put little accessories in there, like maybe sky hides or extra things that I'm going to put in that I didn't have the enclosure company install for me. But black box cages installed the lighting and the fixtures and the cage covers and the shelf. I just installed a sky hide. So when something is freighted to you, it typically means it comes on a semi truck, either one of the smaller semis or a larger semi. Typically has to go to a business address, even if that's a home business, because there has to be a driveway area or parking area and gate area big enough for a semi to get through and turn around and successfully leave. And you have to have equipment on site, like a forklift or some other type of equipment that is able to offload the freight shipment onto your property or into your facility. So all of the enclosures are already put together. They are stacked on pallets and they are packaged up like that, and it becomes very bulky and it's huge. So at one time I had 11 enclosures sent to me that way. This time I had 5 enclosures sent to me. And they can also send a combination of enclosures already put together and flat packed all on one big pallet via freight. So I'm going to show you what that looks like because these just arrived last weekend. Now I'm giving you a glimpse of one of our outbuildings. So this is a building that we have in progress. We're in the process of finishing it. About a year ago or a year and a half ago, we were able to put electricity into this building. And earlier this summer, we were able to have individual rooms installed. We were able to make walls in it. And right now it's our isolation area, our quarantine, and a workspace. But it's primarily right now just for the snakes. We are going to incorporate an area into it once all the snake stuff is cleaned up from the main area and put into these rooms for the dogs to also use.
Where do you want it?
Should we open it right there and unload the enclosures into the garage? stands that I use. Here is an example of what most of my enclosure stands look like. Some variation of this, and I have different sizes. I get these from Uline. They're extremely sturdy. They're extremely low profile. They have swiveling wheels. They can hold a lot of weight, and they come in sizes that can exactly fit the 4x2x2 enclosures, the 3x2x2 enclosures, a 4x18x18 enclosure, or a 4x18x24 enclosure. So you would just have to look on Uline, but they come in all of the sizes that I've ever needed to stack all of my enclosures on. And I like them because they're not bulky, they're not big, but they hold a lot of weight and they're really sturdy. And all you have to do when it arrives is this platform comes and the wheels come separate, and so you literally just have to screw the wheels on and you're finished. They come in different colors. So I have black ones, silver ones, gray ones, and tan ones. They have a variety for you to choose from. I'm sure that you could also possibly get these from other companies. I just have an account with Uline, and so it's easy for me to order them and have them shipped here. And these generally arrive literally within 2 days via FedEx freight. So I really enjoy the promptness of the delivery whenever I order these. It also really helps if you have a skid loader or some other type of heavy equipment to move enclosures from one building to another, because we have moved enclosures from one building to another by hand many, many times, but we're happy now that we have a skid loader to help us out. Share this with you. This is 2 Dubia enclosures that I have attached together. So these are 2 4x2x2 enclosures from Dubia, and they have glass sliding doors, and essentially this makes an 8-foot by 2-foot by 2-foot enclosure by attaching these together. Now, I am happy with these Dubia enclosures for the price. They're very economical, and I have no complaints about them, with the exception of they only come in black, so you don't have any color choices. And I'm happy with the upgrades they've made, including the standard glass doors. They used to come with plexiglass doors, but now they come standard with glass doors. They now come with a thicker bottom, so it can hold a little bit more weight than the previous version. So I'm happy with all that. I'm happy with the space I'm able to provide to a large snake, which is going to be going in here by putting 2 together. So it's 8 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. I will give some critical critique to the enclosure connector kit that Dubia is now selling. I and my husband were attempting to connect these via the connector kit that I bought from Dubia, and we spent longer attempting to do that than it took me by myself to put these 2 enclosures together. And finally we determined that it just wasn't working, and so I ended up attaching these together a different way, a do-it-yourself way, and it's going to be fine. The snake's not going to be able to get out, and they are attached together very well, and it's very sturdy. But I did not end up using the enclosure connector kit that Dubia is currently selling. I think that they need to re-examine that system and come up with something different, or improve the system that they have. That's my only critique right now. Otherwise, I like these enclosures. They do connect, even though the frame is metal, they do connect via plastic corners. So I will warn you, and also just an FYI to Dubia, that if you do not put these together exactly correctly the first time and you need to take them apart to correct a mistake you made, it is easy to break the plastic corners on accident. So I don't know what the solution to that would be. Either don't make a mistake and have to take them apart once they're together, because once they're together, they are extremely sturdy. I have no issues with thinking a snake's gonna get out of this, or that it's gonna fall apart, or that it can't hold weight on top. It can. But if you make a mistake and say put the front piece accidentally on the back or put something upside down and you have to take these off. It's not easy, and you could accidentally break the plastic corners. So either, I don't know what the modification that Dubia could make to fix that would be, but just don't make a mistake when you initially put them together. Here's something else I'll share with you. Here are 2 black box enclosures, one with side windows and one without. These are both 4x2x2. I absolutely love these enclosures. They come in white or black, and I have no complaints about these whatsoever. And they only recently started becoming available with the side windows in, and I'm absolutely getting more with side windows. I love the side window option, and they're not just windows, but you can also open the ends, and that has already served me very well. So I'm happy with these. No animals in these yet. They're not where they're going to be or anything. I'm just working on putting accessories in. I'm testing out this New Age Pet EcoFlex enclosure. And there's a snake that was recently relinquished to me and is being quarantined right here. He just shed 2 days ago. I'm trying to learn his personality a little bit. He still has to go to the vet for his wellness check. So if everything checks out okay, and it looks like there's no issues with him, since he's already in this enclosure, which is 4x2x2, and getting used to it. He's been here about 2 weeks. I'm not really wanting to move him to a different one, but he needs a bigger enclosure. He's a Morelia Bredli. He is longer than 4 feet. He's probably close to 7 feet long. So I think I'm gonna try attaching 2 of these New Age Pet EcoFlex enclosures together and create a pass-through so that he has 2 of these combined and he can utilize the 8 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot space. And there isn't a kit to attach these together, and the company does not say that you can attach them together, but I am going to do it myself. And I've done this with other enclosures using large diameter PVC pipe, and all you really need to do is create a pass-through that is accessible and convenient and large enough for the snake that you want to use it. And then they're able to literally stretch out from one end to the other through the pass-through, and then choose which cage they want to be in. Or some of my snakes that I've done this with actually lay in the pass-through with part of their body in one cage and part of their body in the other. So we'll see how that works out. And if I do that project, I will share that with you as well. These are some of the new black box cages enclosures semi-set up. And this is the room adjacent to my office space. This is what those side windows that also open look like. This snake, Hera, was put in here, and I took the things from her quarantine habitat and put him in here in an identical fashion. So I put him in the same equivalent spaces, and I just put all the same stuff in here. This is likely not going to be her permanent enclosure furnishings, but I wanted her to feel comfortable moving into the new enclosure, so I just moved everything over exactly how it was in her 3x2x2 quarantine enclosure. This is a 4x2x2 enclosure, and the only additions are the sky hide and the shelf. This is one I'm putting together for one of my Morelia Bredli Castiel, and as you can see, it's still empty, and I'm working on furnishing it. And then adjacent to these are 6x2x2 and another 4x2x2. Magically, we're going to flash forward just a few days, and that 4x2x2 has been replaced by another 6x2x2, and Castiel's enclosure is now furnished, and he is in it. And I will leave you with Kazuda. He's the Morelia Bredli in quarantine in the New Age Pet enclosure. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, everybody, please remember to always be kind and love your animals.